Okay guys, so this is the follow-up video for the video that I posted yesterday where I talked about my atypical surgery experience. And I realized after I posted the video and like watched it that I should probably like, I don't know, for those who are wondering about like the actual day of surgery experience, I could make a video talking about that because it's actually kind of funny. And like even a couple days after my surgery in the hospital was kind of like surreal and funny, so maybe I'll make a video about that if that's something you guys are interested in. And then I also talked about my post-surgery experience being atypical because I got into a really bad car wreck 3 weeks actually after my surgery. So, as promised, I'm going to talk about that and how it's affected me up until now. So, if you remember, I was on my way home from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I was taking my sister back down there. She was staying with my brother over the summer. And it's an 8-hour drive from my house to my brother's house. So I was on my way home from there, and I had driven down, stayed one day, and then come back the next day. So, I didn't even really get a chance to, like, recuperate, really. So, I was on my way home. I was 30 miles from my house, and the road that I was traveling on, well, it's not an interstate. It's like a highway, like a 2-lane highway. It's really windy. It goes through, like, the mountains. So there's like a lot of hills and a lot of curves and stuff. And then there's also, because there's a lot of traffic between the town that I had just gone through and like my town, there's like a lot of like turning lanes or not turning lanes, passing lanes. There should be more turning lanes actually. So yeah, it's like kind of a treacherous road. But I was 30 miles from my house and it was still daytime. But I was getting really tired. Like, I was ready to be home. I was getting really tired. I could tell that my blood sugar was getting really low because I was only 3 weeks out of surgery, so I was still trying to get used to, like, eating, like, not, like, continually eating, but, like, you know, I'm sure if you've had surgery, you know what it's like. Like, after you have surgery, you, like, forget to eat because you're not really hungry. And then you feel like crap, and you're wondering why, and it's like, oh, I haven't freaking eaten all day. So I hadn't eaten since that morning, and all I had that morning was like, I think, I don't even remember. Wasn't much. It was maybe like a protein shake. I don't remember. So I was really tired, and I was getting a headache, and I was just ready to be home. And I was driving behind, a couple of cars that kept slowing down and then speeding up and then slowing down and then speeding up. And like every time that there would be like a section of road where you would get a passing lane, they would like get in the passing lane and like zoom past everybody and then get back in the normal lane. And of course I was like, I don't want to be behind you guys anymore because you're like can't maintain one speed, and I just want to be freaking home. So I was like kind of staying behind them. And anyways, so I got to a point in the road where it like kind of like goes down into a dip, and then you can like see really far up the road because like on the far end of the road is like the top of a hill. So it's like 2 hills and then like a, you know, a dip or whatever. So I was at like the top over here, and they were slowing down again. And I was like, screw this, like I need to be home. I'm like getting so tired, I just need to get home. And I was coming to the section of road where it's like a dotted line. It's not a passing lane, but it's like a dotted you know, the dotted line where you are clear, you know, to pass. Anyway, so I started to like go around them, and I was like, I like punched it to like get around them, and I didn't realize that there was like, I don't know, like 2 more cars in front of them. This is where it gets really hard to talk about this wreck. So, I'm gonna try and make it through this video without getting too emotional. I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable, and I don't, so I'm gonna try to stay professional. So, I was going around to pass them, and I was like punching it because I wanted to get around as fast as possible, and I saw that there was like 2 more cars in front of them. And then I saw that the reason everybody was slowing down, the car at the very front of the line was making a left-hand turn. So when I saw the car, it was really weird. I remember like every detail, and I remember thinking like, you're gonna hit this car. It's unavoidable. You're gonna hit this car. But try to slow down as much as you can without slamming on the brakes, because if you slam on the brakes, you're liable to, like, you know, I don't know, run into another car or something, or like spin out of control. So I remember thinking, I'm going to slow down as fast and as gently as possible, and I'm also going to try and turn away from them so that I don't T-bone them, like hit them straight on. So I hit them. I hit them like the front of their car. I hit them like this, like as they were like turning into where they were turning into. And I hit their front of the car. It like gashed along the side of mine, and then I flew through a guardrail. And it was really weird because I remember my car going through it, and I thought to myself, that should have not happened so easily. Like, that should have slowed me down. I didn't even feel my car hit the guardrail. Like, my car sliced through it like butter. And I remember thinking, oh shit. Because as my car sliced through the guardrail, I became airborne. Sorry. My dog was with me. So it's like hard to talk about this. He was like my he was my traveling buddy. And he was a little guy. His name was Samson. And he was in his crate in the back seat. And he was only like 7 months old. So, yeah. So I am flying through the air, and I remember thinking, fuck. That was when I got scared. Like, up to that point, I was like disturbingly calm about the whole thing, and I don't know, it was really weird. And then at that point was when I was scared. Because I was flying through the air, and I could see the ground like rushing at me, up at me, and I could hear Samson like screaming. So really traumatic, guys. And then I hit the bottom. I hit the bottom of this like gully thing. Hit the bottom. And I remember screaming before I hit the bottom, and I remember holding onto the steering wheel and just like bracing for impact and being fucking terrified. Hit the bottom, had like the breath knocked out of me. I was like really out of it. I could smell smoke. And I remember thinking, turn your ignition off so you don't explode. So I turned my ignition off. I tried to put my car in park, and my hand wasn't working, and I couldn't figure out why my hand wasn't working. I couldn't like grab my thing, and I couldn't push it forward to put it in park. So I remember like reaching over and putting it in park. I don't know why I thought I needed to put the car in park. I took my seatbelt off because I thought I need to get out of this car. I'm smelling smoke, but it could be on fire and I need to get out of this car. And I remember turning around and checking on Samson, and I remember I could see like his little chest was moving. So I thought, okay, he's okay. I'm gonna get out of the car. I'm gonna grab him and get out of the car. And I opened my car door, and there was like glass kind of on the dash. And then I was having a hard time breathing. Because I don't know, I took my seatbelt off and I just remember feeling like I can't breathe. And then I started to lose consciousness. And this is going to sound really fucked up to a lot of you out there. But at the time, I thought I thought that was it. Like, I remember thinking like, okay, this is it. This is my time. I'm going on now. I'm leaving my body. I'm leaving this earth, and this is it. And I felt very calm about it. I felt very relieved about it. I was like, I'm ready to go. Like, I love my family, and I love them, and I know that they're gonna be sad about it, but like, I'm okay with it, and I'm ready, and this is it. This is how it's meant to be. And then I lost consciousness and I passed out, and I woke up to a man sitting like crouched on the ground by my car. My door's open. And I can't really see because my glasses had like flown off my face, because my airbag went off, so I got hit in the face with the airbag. My glasses were gone. And I woke up to a guy crouched on the ground next to me. Somebody behind me, sitting behind me, talking to me and holding my head back. And I know now that there's no way that there was somebody next to me in the passenger seat, because like after I saw pictures of my car, like my door on the passenger seat was totally like crushed in from where I had hit the other vehicle. And I saw a nun. So I thought I was like trapped like halfway between leaving my body and being like in my body, because I saw a fucking nun like on like the embankment. I didn't see her face. I just saw like from like here down, because like my car was covering her face, but it was a freaking nun outfit. It was a nun, obviously, and I could tell that like there was a cross. She was wearing a cross. And I thought like, maybe she's here to like take me to the beyond, to the great beyond. Anyways, like that was when the rush of pain just came over my body. And the guy behind me was just telling me to like, don't move your head, just hold still, everything's gonna be okay. The guy next to me was, I don't remember what he was saying or what he was doing. One of them covered me up with a blanket. So these were, I know now, other drivers, like, on the road. I still don't know who those people were. And I remember touching my face, and I felt blood on my face. And I remember, like, touching my shirt down here, and it just felt weird. And my hand, I couldn't move my hand. My chest fucking hurt. Everything hurt. My legs hurt. My ankle hurt really bad, and my back hurt. And I thought I had broken my back. And after all this information was like coming into my brain, and all the pain was like rushing over me, and I realized that I wasn't dying, I was pissed. And this is gonna be controversial for a lot of you, and I'm sorry if this offends anybody or if this upsets anybody. I apologize, because it's not my intention to upset anybody. But when I realized that I wasn't dying, I was fucking irate. I was really pissed because I was ready to go. I'm gonna make a couple of videos of talking about mental health. I'm gonna talk a little bit, guys. I'm gonna get deep with y'all. All right. I'm gonna talk about my own issues with mental health, specifically like depression and stuff. But I had been really, really, really in a dark place. Even like leading up to my surgery, I was suicidal. But so when I realized that I wasn't dying, I was like, are you fucking serious? I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. So I was really upset. I was really upset about that. And the guys they just kept talking to me, and they were just like trying to calm me down, and they were asking me questions, and I remember they were asking me like, what's your name? Where are you from? How old are you? They were trying to keep me talking. And I don't know how to describe like a severe concussion to you guys, other than it's really hard to think. Like, very simple questions I had to think really hard about. I had to think about my name, and it came very slowly, and then I had to think about my address and my phone number and where I lived. Like, it was very weird. It was really weird. And it seemed like, oh, okay. So then after I realized that I wasn't dying, and I was really pissed about it, initially I was like, well, okay, I don't remember. I think I woke up, was experiencing pain, realized there was people around me, realized I wasn't dying. I was kind of like trying to take in everything. I don't know, like this part's kind of hard to like piece together, but I remember I started freaking out because I thought I thought I had killed somebody. like I was so terrified that I killed somebody, and I said, I think the first thing I said was, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Are they okay? Is everybody okay? And they were like, yeah, everybody's okay. You know, they're fine. Everybody's okay. Don't say, there's nothing to be sorry about. It's gonna be okay. And then that's when I was like pissed about being, but I wasn't dying. And I could still see the nun outside, like standing on the embankment, or like kind of walking around. Never saw her face, just I saw her from like here down. And then I asked, sorry, trying to like not get so like caught up in the memory. Like I'm trying not to relive it so vividly, so I'm trying to like break out of it a little bit. And then I asked the guy sitting behind me if my dog was okay, because I couldn't hear him. And the guy was like, he's fine. He's fine. He's sitting up on the road with somebody, and he's okay. He's just looking around for you. Sorry. He's just looking around for you. He just wants to make sure that you're okay. And like, I know now that he was lying. But that, you know, it's okay. Sorry. I was hoping I wouldn't do this in this video, but I warned you it's gonna be a downer. So anyways, and then, I think a highway patrolman showed up and, said that there was somebody on the way, and like an ambulance or whatever, and I don't really remember a lot after that. I don't really remember. I remember a helicopter showed up. I remember the EMTs asking me where it hurt, and I just remember telling them my chest, my hand, my arm, my knees, my back, everything hurts. They asked me, you know, some like, have you had any, I don't remember. I remember telling them, I don't remember if they asked, but I remember telling them that I had just had surgery, a vertical sleeve gastrectomy, and at this point, like, they had already taken me out of the car, and they had put me onto the board, and they had like strapped my like head into like a neck thing, and like strapped my hand across. No, they hadn't done that yet, because they cut my shirt off. I remember having to tell them how much I weighed for the helicopter ride. I remember them cutting my shirt off, because I remember thinking like how I was so embarrassed. And I distinctly remember reaching down and my fingers going into holes, because all of my incisions from my surgery had ripped open from the impact. And I remember them moving my hand away, and then they like strapped me in, or I can't remember how I was strapped in. And then I was put on a helicopter, and I was flown to Loveland, Colorado, to their trauma center. And yeah. And I remember like the nurse that was there, like the receiving emergency room nurse, like handed me the phone. It was my phone. She handed me my phone. And it was my mom. My mom was like crying, obviously. And then she told me that Samson didn't make it. And then, yeah, I had to do, they put me through a bunch of machines to make sure that my stomach hadn't ripped open, and to make sure my back wasn't broken, and make sure that my neck wasn't broken. And I just remember, like, I don't know why, but I kept, like, I guess I was scared that my organs were falling out, because I kept reaching down, and, like, I just remember being so scared that my organs were gonna fall out, because there was, like, freaking holes where all my incisions were. And I have 5 incisions. I have, like, 2 on each side of my belly button, 1 up here, 1 on the side over here, and then 1 on the side over here. I just remember being scared that my organs were gonna fall out. Anyways, so, yeah. And then a highway patrolman, I guess that's who it was, came to see me, and the nurse had just given me morphine. I had never had morphine before, and I had a bad reaction to it. Because I remember she gave me something, and I just remember feeling like heat just like go over my body, and my heart started to be like ba 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 ba. And I said, "What did you just give me?" Because I felt like I was like having a hard time breathing, and like my heart was just gonna beat out of my chest. And I was like, "Was that the stuff for the MRI scan or something?" And she was like, "No, that was morphine. It's gonna help you." And I was like, "Okay, are you sure it's not gonna kill me?" But anyways, so then the officer came to talk to me about what had happened, you know, that I had been in a car accident, and I don't even remember. He like gave me some, I don't remember. I do remember him patting my arm, and it hurt really bad, and he felt really bad about it. He was really nice, and he told me that I had gotten a ticket. And he was so nice about it, because he was like, "I don't want you to freak out. I just want you to focus on getting better and recovering. But you did get a ticket. It's nothing crazy. It was just a careless driving ticket. You're gonna have to pay $120 or something. But don't worry about it. It's gonna be okay." And he was just super nice. And then, Brumby. Stop. No, you can't get up here. Don't get up here. Anyways, he was so nice. And I got taken to my room. And yeah. You guys, I'm just gonna say, like, the nurses that I had were so amazing. Like, I have never, like, one of my nurses especially was I don't know if she was a nurse or a nurse's aide. I don't care. I think she was a freak. She must have been an angel, because she was absolutely full of love. Like, she was the most caring person. She told me she loved me because we had a moment together, because she had some little dogs, and they knew that, like, I had been traveling with my dog, and my dog got killed in the accident, and she was just so incredibly compassionate and full of empathy for me. Like, it was amazing. And I just remember she, like, was holding me, because I was just, like, had a moment where I was just bawling. And it was so nice, because I really felt like it was like having, like, my mom there to, like, tell me that everything's gonna be okay, and I love you, and it's gonna be okay. And it was just so awesome. Like, amazing. Yeah. And then another highway patrolman came to see me. I don't remember what for. Okay, so I don't know how, but somebody must have grabbed my bag. I had a bag that I was traveling with, and they must have put my glasses in there and my wallet in there, because I had my wallet and stuff and my glasses. But here's something funny. So, like, marijuana is legal in Colorado, and if this is something that offends people, I'm sorry. I'm not like a drug addict or whatever, but I had gotten a cannabis tincture to like help me with my nausea and to help me with sleep. And I had it in the car with me. And I don't live in Colorado. I'm not a Coloradoan. Whatever, I'm not from Colorado. And so it's like super illegal to take any cannabis product out of Colorado, like felony legal. And I was scared shitless because they had to have seen it, like when they had my bag, because I have no idea who brought my bag. I have no idea how my bag got there. And like when you buy a cannabis product from like a dispensary, they put it's not discreet, guys. They put it in a giant, bright orange bag with writing on it that, you know, says, there's like a huge, like, federal stamp on it, and it tells you, you know, like, all the legalities of the contents of that bag. So, that bag is not discreet. It sticks out. Like, it's easily seen. It's bright orange. So I know that people had to have seen that in my bag. Like, and they had to have known that I wasn't from Colorado, and they had to have known that I was going to Wyoming because I was like 30 miles from where I was going. But luckily I didn't get in trouble for that. Luckily they didn't take it from me. So, anyways, so this video has gotten pretty long. So I'm gonna make a third follow-up video to this video, and I'm gonna talk about my injuries. I'm gonna put some pictures in there of my vehicle, and I'm gonna talk about my recovery, and I'm gonna talk about how it has affected me up until this point, in relation to like my recovery from surgery and like getting back to normal from that. So yeah, stay tuned. If you watched this video through to the end, thank you. I'm so sorry that this video ran a little bit long. If you haven't subscribed, do that if you want to subscribe, you know, whatever. And thank you so much. If you guys have any like questions or comments, obviously leave them down in the comments section. And thank you so much for listening to this. And I'm sorry that it was like really depressing. Oh, sorry about that. Anyways, thanks guys, and I will probably post another video tomorrow or whenever. So thank you, and stay tuned for more.